Hello guys and welcome back to Cognitive Realm. In this video, we'll be doing a theoretical gaming PC build for around 25,000 rupees. Some of my friends asked me to do an even cheaper build which they can actually afford. I used some expensive components in my last build which was not actually required. So this time I'll be using the absolute cheap component which will not only get the job done but won't break your wallet. This PC will allow you to run most of the popular titles like Overwatch, Counter-Strike Go, then Rainbow Six Siege, etc. in 1080p using low to medium settings, and you can still get those 60 FPS mark. Now let's get right into the components. For the CPU, I am going with the 4700 Rupee Intel G4560. It's a dual-core hyper-threaded CPU, so 4 threads in total. It's a Kaby-Lake-based CPU which is built on 14nm plus node, which is having a clock speed of 3.5 GHz and a TDP of 54 watts. This is a lock CPU by the way, which means no overclock. 2 cores are more than enough for playing modern AAA titles, so this CPU will get the job done. There is no ABS instruction set for this CPU, so keep that in mind. For the motherboard, I am going with the MSI B250M Pro VD, which costs around 4500 rupees. It's a micro ATX motherboard which supports all LGA 1151 CPU except the 8th generation ones. It's having PCI Express Gen 3 16x slot along with 2 PCI Express 1x slot for expansion. 2 DIMM slots are available for the RAM with a maximum capacity of 32 GB. For the storage, it got a M.2 slot and 6 SATA 3 connectors. At the back, it's having a PS2 mouse and keyboard combo, 2 USB 2.0, 2 USB 3.1 Gen 1, dual-link DVI-D, VGA, Ethernet and audio combo ports. Since this is a B250 motherboard, overclocking is not supported, not even on the RAMs. Anyway, G4560 is a lock CPU. For the RAM, I am going with the crucial 4GB 2400 MHz single stick, retailing for around 3500 rupee, the same one which I used on my last video, as it is the cheapest RAM I found online. Anyway, 4GB of RAM is a bit less, but it will be enough to play the popular esports titles. You can always upgrade to 8GB later as there will be a free DIMM slot available in the motherboard. For the storage, again I am going for the 1TB Toshiba hard disk which I used in my last build. It's a 7200 RPM hard disk, so it will be fast and snappy, and 1TB might be enough for all of your storage. I don't recommend getting less capacity because they are not worth the money. For powering and housing the build, we are going for the cabinet and power supply combo, which is the Circle Desire D1. This is a really cheap cabinet which comes with a 450 watt power supply and it costs around 1900 rupee. The power supply coming with this cabinet is a cheap one, but it will be more than enough to handle this build, no problem whatsoever. Well, nothing much to specify about the cabinet as it's a pretty basic one. Finally, for the GPU, which will actually make this build a gaming build. The GT1030 is the best GPU which you can find for under 7000 rupees. If you are lucky, you can get it for as low as 6000 rupees. This is a great budget card which have 384 CUDA cores running at 1468 base clocks. The memory is a 2GB 64-bit one with a bandwidth of 48 GB per second, and you can always overclock your core and memory by the way, which will improve the overall performance of the card. The total cost of these will be around 24,100 at the time of making this video, which is under 25,000 target. If you are building a new PC, then you have to buy a monitor along with a keyboard and mouse, which will add another 5,000 to 6,000 rupees, which will make the budget raise up to 30,000 rupees. Anyway, that's it for the video guys. Hope this video will help you decide what components to choose. As always, drop a comment on what you think about the components I choose for this one. Please don't forget to like this video, which will support us a lot guys. Like I always say, every single like will encourage us to do more videos like this. You can also share this video with your friends on social media, which might actually help them and will definitely help us. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Facebook, which will be linked down in the description. As always guys, thanks for watching and have a nice day.